Hey guys, so for today's video I'm going to be showing you guys my everyday winter festive makeup look. But before we get into that, if you haven't seen my blog post, I recently changed my hair up a little bit. I had the blonde taken out and like light brown highlights put in instead. I'll link that blog post in the description if you want to know more about that. But anyway, jumping into today's video, I'm just gonna put my hair up out of the way and then okay, so now my hair's out of the way, let's get into my everyday winter festive makeup look then, shall we? So if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I like to start with my eye makeup first. So I'm going to be starting with my Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer in the shade Cool Medium, and I'm just going to be popping that just on my lid and then blending out my finger. Once that's done, I like to set over that with powder. So I recently got a new Rimmel Stay Matte powder that's in the shade Transparent, and I'm just going to take this mini Makeup Revolution brush and just set over the concealer. Okay, and then I'm going to get straight into eye makeup. So I'm going to be starting with my Kylie Cosmetics Summer Palette. And I'm going to be taking this shade Heat Wave right here. And I'm going to be just popping that all over my lid with my finger. I have tried to use this shade recently with a brush, but I'll show you what happens with this brush. You try and apply it, and it applies like the glitter and a little bit of pigment, but it doesn't apply so much pigment anymore. I'm just gonna use my finger to do that. I like to start with my eye makeup because then I feel like if there's any fallout or anything, I can just clean it up with my foundation. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Real Techniques base shadow brush and just blend that out. And then I'll usually keep going in with it on my finger and blending it out until I get the pigment that I want. So I think that's okay. There is quite a bit of fallout, but we'll sort that afterwards. So next, staying with the Kylie palette, I usually take the shade Aquaholic right here, and I'll usually just dust my brush off on like a cotton pad or something first, and then just take that shade in my crease, kind of like a transition shade for the next shade I'm going to use. Once I feel like that's done, I'm just going to go into my MAC palette and take the shade Swiss Chocolate right here, and I'm just going to pop that through my crease and onto my outer V. I quite like that this isn't like your typical wintry gold look, like it has a bronzy effect to it too, as well as the smoky effect from the brown. Once that's done, I usually just go back in with the shade Heat Wave on my finger and just pop it just back on that inner corner. just to add a little bit of shimmer back in, and then I'll usually leave that there for now and move on to my face makeup. So I'm starting my face makeup with my number 7 Essentially Natural foundation in the shade Warm Ivory, and I'm just going to pop that on the back of my hand. And rather than a brush currently, I've been using a sponge to apply this. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and just start dotting that around my face. Like I would if I were applying it with a brush. And then I'm just going to blend that out with the sponge and then take it down my neck with the brush. I might have applied a tad bit too much today actually. Oh well. I'm only going to my Nana's today, so it doesn't matter all that much. It doesn't have to look great. Sometimes I will go over this with a brush if I feel like it looks too harsh, but I think that's okay. So then I'm just going to pop a tiny bit more on the back of my hand and take my Real Techniques stippling brush and just take that down my neck. Once I've applied that down my neck and the foundation's all done, it's then time for concealer. So I'm just taking my Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer in the shade Ivory, and I'm just going to pop that literally just in a V under my eyes. That is the only place I put concealer currently. This is a brand new one. I bought it the other day because I prefer this concealer to the concealer I used to use with this foundation. I just feel like it looks a bit nicer with this foundation. Okay, and then I'm just going to take that same Miracle Complexion sponge and just blend that out. Just to brighten up my under eyes a little bit. Okay, that looks okay. Sometimes I will add a little bit more just to like this part, but that looks okay today. So now to set it all, I'm using the same Rimmel Stay Matte powder I used before on my eyes. I'm just going to take the Real Techniques powder brush, and then under my eyes I like to take the Real Techniques blush brush just because it gets in under the eyes a little bit easier. So I'm just going to powder. Setting so much faster with a brand new powder. Then I'm just going to take that down my neck also. Not to get it on my jumper. I probably do use quite a lot of powder, but I just like the feeling of like a full matte face. Okay, now taking the blush brush. Just taking that under the eyes. And then once powder's done, I move on to bronzer, and I'm just using my all-time favourite Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is actually a brand new one, and I'm just going to take that same powder brush and just pop this just under my cheekbones and up around my temples. I'm going to take that along my jawline and down my neck also, just to blend it out. Okay, and once that's done, I'm then going to take my Benefit Dandelion blush and my Real Techniques blush brush and just apply that from my apples of my cheeks upwards. Okay, blush done. I then like to take the powder brush and just blend between the two so there's no like gap or harsh line between them. And then for highlight, so I'm using this Makeup Revolution highlight out of the advent calendar. Although I do know that they sell this in a bigger highlighter. I think it's about that big and it's about £5. And I think it's the Skin Kiss highlighter. This is the shade Ice Kiss. I like this because I feel like it's more wintry, the fact that it has more of an icy white tone to it. And so I'm just going to take my angled blush brush and just use the tip of the angled part to pop the highlighter just on my cheekbones. I do know I'm getting a fan brush for Christmas, so in my videos after Christmas, I'll be able to use a fan brush for my highlight rather than this brush. Okay, highlighter done. I love this highlight. I feel like it's more wintry and appropriate for Christmas. The fact it has like that ice white tone to it. Okay, face makeup done. I now like to move back to my eyes. So again, I'm going back into my Kylie palette. I'm just gonna dust off my Real Techniques base shadow brush. And then I'm going to take the shade Pool Day right here, which I guess you could describe as like a matte highlight. And I just pop that under my brow and on my brow bone. I just find that this not only kind of highlights my brow, but it also, say like on this side where the brown went a bit too high up, it kind of just helps to clean it up a little bit. If I want the brown a little bit darker, I feel like you can't see it as much, so I'm just going to apply a bit more of that. Normally I wouldn't have to do this, but just want it a little bit darker. Okay, that's that. So now to finish off the eyes, I'm taking this Makeup Revolution Strobe Balm from the advent calendar last year. This, I don't know if they sell this actually, but this is just in the shade, I don't know if you can see that, it's just in the shade Golden, and it's just a nice light gold strobe balm. I just like to take this on, where's my flat brush? I just like to take this on my flat brush and just pop it on my inner corner, like my tear duct area. Just to highlight the inner corner. The fact that a strobe balm lasts a little bit longer than like an eyeshadow pigment. before I would just use the shade Summer out of my Kylie palette, but then I found this in my makeup bag, and since it expires soon, because I've had it nearly a year, I thought I would use that instead. So inner corner highlight done. Now to finish the eyes, I'm just taking my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. I was using Benefit mascaras before, but then I decided to go back to this one because I feel like it just lasts a little bit longer, and I love the effect it gives my lashes. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Benefit mascaras, like I love all of their mascaras, but I just wanted something that was going to last me that little bit longer over Christmas. Because I only ever get the mini Benefit ones. Plus I love the way this makes my lashes look. And I kind of wanted that more bold lash effect for Christmas. I also love the wand on this. I love the fact it's curved, and so I can just get particularly my bottom lashes better. I usually apply quite a few coats of this because I like them to look really bold and really long. So that's mascara done. Now finally is lips, and recently I've gone back to a festive favourite, which is the Kylie Cosmetics Metal Lipstick in the shade Dancer. I find this is quite festive. I'll swatch it on the back of my hand if I have enough room left. I find this is quite festive because it's quite a nice, I find it's quite a nice kind of wine red, festive purple. I don't really know how to describe it, but I feel like the fact that it's metallic as well makes it really festive. So I'm just gonna apply that as best I can, and then I think we're done. This is a tad bit difficult to apply because if it goes wrong, it kind of, not stains as such, but it takes quite a bit of getting off because it's such a dark colour. So I do have to apply this very carefully. I'd say it's quite possibly my favourite lipstick I own. Sorry guys, my camera went off because the SD card's getting full again. I really need to sort that SD card out. So I've cleared it down a little bit to finish. I finished my lips off camera. And so this is the finished look. I really love it. I feel like it's still festive, even though it's more of a bronzy, coppery kind of eye look. I love the dark lip. Actually, normally I wouldn't finish my makeup with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, but I don't have all that much left, so I'm going to skip that today because I know I'm getting a full-size one for Christmas, but I don't think that's going to last till Christmas if I'm using it often, so I'll save that for when I'm like going out. Whereas today I'm just going to my nana's, so I'm going to skip the setting spray today. So this is the finished look. I love it. I think it looks really festive. I love the dark lip and the coppery eye. Yeah, so let me just take this back down for the outro. Let me know in the comments what you think of this look, and also let me know what your go-to like festive wintry makeup look is, or one of your winter makeup essentials. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below. I did recently hit my end of year goal of 30 subscribers, but then I recently lost a subscriber, so I'd love to hit that again before the end of the year. So if you'd like to subscribe, please feel free to subscribe down below. Yeah, I think that's it, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye guys!